Quinella, these two have been for the Cardinals in 2004. Manager La Russa, pitching coach Duncan. The lifeblood for this Cardinal team, the starting rotation. Jeff Suppan has been outstanding his first year with the team. Woody Williams rolling now, coming off that great win last night. Matt Morris has been frustrated, but frustrated with 10 wins. Chris Carpenter has stepped to the front of the rotation, and tonight, Jason Marquis goes for win number 10 against Milwaukee. Welcome to another hot night in downtown St. Louis. The Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers, the finale of this quick two-game set before the Giants roll into town. And now welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck along with Al Roboski. We touched on it last night. The Cardinals coming off that thrilling 11-8 win in Chicago. Last night they scratched out only 3 singles, but they get the win. It seems, however, they have to win a ball game. They end up doing it that way and get it done.
It really is that case, and I think this version, 2004, is capable of winning those 1-0 games. I'm not too sure if last year's team could do that.
Our Ford Dealers key matchup has one of the Cardinals' new starters compared to last year, Jason Marquis, against Ben Sheets, right now with the lowest ERA across baseball.
Yeah, he's 2.28 on the season. Look how well he's pitched in the month of July, but so has Jason Marquis. And when you talk about Ben Sheets, everybody wants to think about the fastball, but look at this breaking ball. His curveball looks just like the fastball, and he's got high octane both ways. He can pitch up and down.
Jason Marquis has been working that sinker. He has really taken that on under the tutelage of Dave Duncan. He has worked with that, and he has ridden that to 9 victories, and now he tries to get to 10 on the season. Jason Marquis against Ben Sheets, and Ben Sheets now is starting to get the kind of team around him. You always wondered if this guy had a ball club around him how good he could be, and now people are starting to see it.
Absolutely, and he's really starting to give up on his sinker, just going with that explosive fastball, but he stays on top of his curveball, really developing into one of the best pitchers in all of baseball.
So this is a good pitching matchup here tonight as the Cardinals go for the sweep. This is a team the Cardinals are under 500 against this season, the Milwaukee Brewers. What will unfold before our eyes tonight? The Cardinals come in on top in the Central. Dan will talk about the standings.
Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest rolls on from Busch Stadium. Another hot, steamy night, and another big crowd is expected as the Cardinals go for the sweep against the Milwaukee Brewers. With the victory last night, as we welcome you back to Busch Stadium, the Cardinals have 60 victories. They're the first of the majors to get to that 60-win plateau. We take a look at the standings, and this is updated because the Cubs did win this afternoon. They are 9.5 games out. The Reds 11. The Brewers start 12.5 games back. The Cardinals 9.5 game lead, their largest at this stage of the season since the beginning of division play in 1969. You have to go back to that 0-2 season when the Cardinals finished that year 13 games in front of Houston to see a lead this big for St. Louis. Good pitching pairing here tonight at the ballpark as Jason Marquis will go against Ben Sheets. Both those right-handers are 9-game winners. In the middle of that lineup for the Cardinals tonight, of course, it is Scott Rowland with 86 RBIs, the most in Major League Baseball. We hope you stay with us. Cardinals baseball with Joe Buck and Al Roboski coming up next. The Cardinals and the Brewers in game number 2.
A symbol of freedom.
We are underway, and the dark clouds are rolling in. The temperature is dropping. The wind is howling right now as Marquis brings a strike, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike on Podsednik. Cardinals starter and half of the Advance Auto Parts pitching matchup is Jason Marquis.
What a job he's done. He's won 8 of his last 11, including 6 straight decisions for a new career high. And he is a ground ball specialist, second best in the National League in inducing ground balls.
94 degrees at the start of the night. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Podsednik. That is hooked foul down the right field line. Talked to Woody Williams before tonight's game, and he still isn't feeling right after going 7 strong innings last night. He did everything. Ran the bases, got hit, scored the only run of the night. And he's been drinking fluids all day. He hopes to feel better tomorrow, but last night took it all out of him. And who can blame him?
It takes a lot out of him. Boy, not only did he pitch and beat the Brewers, but he did it with his bat and his legs. Scored the only run of the game. Had 2 hits, 2 of the 3 Cardinal hits. And speaking of hits, Podsednik was the only Brewer to collect 2 hits last night.
Here's a 1-2. It gets away from Yadier Molina, who does the catching. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I can't tell you what a relief the last 5 minutes have brought with the rain moving in at least around the area. The temperature has really dropped. The humidity is down. Wind is blowing in from left center, and Podsednik sticks the bat out. Tough play for Renteria. Safe. Pujols looks back at the first base umpire. Jim Wolf doesn't say anything, and hustling down the line gets Podsednik an infield hit.
Well, he tries to surround the ball, get him some momentum behind his throw, and a bang-bang play, and I think the correct call.
Take a look at the lineup for Milwaukee. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Podsednik, now Brady Clark is digging in. Jeff Jenkins, Wes Helms, Lyle Overbay, Keith Ginter, Chad Moeller, Craig Counsell, Ben Sheets, who was a 9-game winner and an all-star with that great ERA of 2.28 on the mound. Fastball for a strike to Clark.
Brady usually goes in for defense into right field. He's starting in right tonight. Last night he took over in left for Jenkins, who is on IMAX today. He'll be on after the game. He was on before.
Here comes an 0-1 pitch from Marquis. Podsednik did a lot of running last night. Cardinals will pay attention to him, and instead of Matheny behind the plate, Podsednik 1 for 2. Stealing bases. Ned Yost has turned his team loose. At least he did last night. 2 out of 3 early stealing bases.
You know, Joe, if you're going to do it against Matheny, you'd have to think you're going to try Molina, and especially with a ground ball pitcher on there to try to avoid the double plays.
Here he goes, and a ground ball back to Marquis. The only out is the first. Down to second is Podsednik, and by starting the runner, the Brewers avoid the double play. 1-3 on the putout, and we go around the horn. It's brought to you by Auto Tire. Cardinals have a different look tonight. Instead of Taguchi in left, it's Mabry. Instead of Sanders in right, it's Roger Cedeno with Roland, Renteria, Anderson at second. Albert Pujols with Molina catching Marquis. A lot of different pieces have combined game after game to give the Cardinals 60 victories on the year. Yankees also with 60 as they got a win today from Orlando El Duque Hernandez, a 1-0 victory over Toronto.
Right.
Anybody could have had an El Duque, and they took a chance on him. Able to rehab his pitching arm, and he is paying off. Here's an 0-1 to Jenkins, who has driven in 52. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The birthday boy from yesterday. And as I say, he is Max Kellerman's guest on IMAX.
Had to leave last night after 3 innings due to heat exhaustion.
Oh, I understand why.
Here comes a 1-1. A little bit too far inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Nice-sized crowd gathering here. About 37,000 had purchased tickets for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Here is a 2-1 for Marquis. Fastball gets by the bat of Jenkins. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With Wes Helms in the on-deck circle as Ned Yost has broken up all those left-handed hitters. Last night it was lefty, 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 lefty. 2-2. Marquis brings it. Jenkins hits it back to the Cardinal starter. Showed off that vertical. He's testing Albert Pujols over at first with these little lobs.
Well, it was Albert last night that was lobbing them. Now Jason's trying to get even for Woody and saying, here, see how you like it. Not the way you teach to throw, because it's so easy to make an errant throw. Take the crow hop, come over the top.
So now with 2 out, it's Wes Helms instead of Lyle Overbay, who hit in the cleanup spot last night. Jason Marquis against the Brewers this year is 0-1.
Former teammates in Atlanta, these two.
Fastball misses, ball one. Jason is coming off a no decision. A team loss at Cincinnati his last time out. Prior to that, he hadn't lost since May 26th.
Still has a 6-game winning streak.
1-1 strike. Marquis throwing hard. Marquis is right there keeping pace with his mates in the starting rotation, and the Cardinals pitching staff leads Major League Baseball with 57 quality starts. There they are in a row. The guy missing is Suppan. Here's a 1-1. A little low. 2 balls and a strike. We always say quality starts. In case people don't know what that is, agents develop that stat to make more money for their clients, and it's 6 or more innings allowing 3 runs or less.
Arbitration stat. That's what happens when you get a guy that doesn't have a lot of wins, but you want to show that he's a quality pitcher.
Here's a 2-1. Too far inside. 3-1. The guy that I think of when that stat is brought up is a right-hander with the Mets, Anthony Young.
Right, remember, because he had he set a record for consecutive losses, but he pitched well, and he had to be a pretty good pitcher to keep on staying in the rotation.
Here comes a 3-1 to Helms. He'll sit on a pitch, and he grounds to short. Renteria will guide it across, and a scoreless first inning for Marquis. Cardinals slowly but surely busting out of that streak where they give up a lot of first inning runs. Brewers strand a man. Ben Sheets will go to work for the Milwaukee Brewers, a very talented right-hander who is getting better and better year after year. This year, however, does not have a victory against the Cardinals in 2 starts and an ERA of just under 5.
Did you notice that 7-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio? Leads the major leagues with that great ERA, 2.28. Snapped a 3-game winning streak his last time out, where he lost to the Cubbies. And amongst league leaders in just about every category.
Marlon Anderson gets a leadoff nod tonight. First pitch is a strike over the outside corner from Sheets.
Marlon's 3 for 6 against him.
Big rip, but it's 0-2.
Easy, Marlon.
Big rip.
Well, he's got that great control. He doesn't walk many, and he just attacks hitters. Atlanta Braves can tell you about that.
Marlon Anderson gets a base hit into center on an 0-2 pitch. Past the outstretched glove of Craig Counsell, and the Cardinals have a leadoff base hit. Give you a look at the Cardinal lineup. You know, Marlon Anderson's in that leadoff spot. Now it's Edgar. Albert Pujols will dig in after Renteria, then Roland, Edmonds, Roger Cedeno, John Mabry, Yadier Molina, and Jason Marquis. Mr. Watson was busy today in the league office. He was handing out suspensions left and right.
To the Cubbies, right?
The Cubbies, they had 2 guys that got their sentences handed out. David Ortiz from the Boston Red Sox for his meltdown, throwing bats in the direction of the home plate umpire.
And one of them hit an umpire, didn't it?
It came close. I don't know if it hit him or not. Ortiz got 5 games. Zambrano got 5 games, which for a starting pitcher is virtually nothing. And LaTroy Hawkins, the closer, for going after the home plate umpire, Tim Sheeta, got 3 games. They'll appeal it. They'll get him reduced, and in the end, it will be no big deal.
Why don't they just say to a starting pitcher either 1 or 2 starts? 2 starts, then reduce it to 1.
There you go. Because 5 games means absolutely nothing.
Get it reduced, and it's your time in between starts.
Here's an 0-1. Renteria hits it fair down the left field line. Marlin will run. He may score. He heads for third base. Oquendo watching it, send him home, and the Cardinals lead 1-0 in the first. Renteria with an RBI double.
Renteria got the only RBI last night, and you just wonder if this offense is going to say, hey guys, we're sorry about last night. You got us a win anyway, but we're going to come out here and slug against one of the best in the league. Not a very good throw at all by Jenkins. Short hops the relay man, and that just guaranteed Marlin was going to score.
It was fun to watch Jose Oquendo, who was basically down in a crouch, and running through his mind was, I know there's nobody out. Pujols is coming up, but they just have no shot at getting Anderson, so why not?
Yeah, you've got to almost have your guy walk home with Rolen and you know, Pujols and then Rolen, and Edmonds coming up.
Albert took a strike, a single, a double, and Marquis has a first inning lead, and he and the Cardinals are looking for more. The 0-1 from Ben Sheets is hit foul right past the aforementioned Jose Oquendo.
Albert,
go ahead.
455, 15 for 33 and a home run. Well, one of us, there we go.
Well, the other one was what he's done the last 6 games. I mean, any way you want to look at it.
Oh, I thought it was so similar.
No, yeah. No, that's what he's done the last 6 games, and that's what he's done against Ben Sheets. No balls, 2 strikes. That's foul again. Just going to say that the Cubs got a win today from Greg Maddux. He now has 298 career wins. 2-hour, 15-minute game, a 4-hit complete game for Maddux in a 13-2 win over Cincinnati. Here comes an 0-2 to Pujols. The opposite way and a base hit. Renteria will come home. They will test the right fielder, make it easily, and it's 2-0 Cardinals as Pujols knocks home number 71. Talk about a beautiful piece of hitting with 2 strikes.
Oh, he's just outstanding. Podsednik, your center fielder, and your defense.
Brady Clark in right that thought about throwing home, but Renteria got such a good break off second, there was no chance. Jenkins in left. And then that infield, as you look at this swing again from Albert Pujols with 2 strikes, it was pretty.
Kind of reminiscent of a guy trying to make contact, trying to get the ball in play, and that's what Albert does. He is one of the old school guys that doesn't want to strike out. Ooh.
Big rip by Rolen, strike 1. Albert Pujols, as you look at Scott, numbers that he has put up. Albert Pujols playing in his 91st game. He's hit 27 home runs, driven in 71 runs now. And we talked about what he just did with 2 strikes as Rolen is now in the hole 0-2. In the strikeout department, for a guy who has to be in the category of slugger, Albert Pujols has struck out a total of 26 times.
It'll be interesting to see what Bonds' current strikeout total is. He and Albert are very efficient.
That's high, ball 1. So you've got a guy at first base with 27 home runs and 26 strikeouts. That is DiMaggio-esque. Rolen waits for a 1-2 pitch from Sheets. Cardinals are getting good rips against Ben Sheets.
Boy, it's strange, isn't it? Ben Sheets 5 times this year has been in double figures in strikeouts, including a 18 strikeout performance against Atlanta. 141 strikeouts, just 20 walks, and one of those was intentional. And the Cardinals are coming out here showing no respect.
On 1-2. Rolen able to lay off that nasty breaking ball. 2-2. Bank of America higher standard. Scott Rolen, National League RBI leaders, and he is number 1 with his guy at first base, Albert Pujols, number 3. Tomey's having a great year for Philadelphia. They lost today. That's low, and it's 3-2. National League East is going to be interesting the rest of the way.
Atlanta won.
So they're tied with Philly.
New York Mets lost.
So they're still 3 out.
Florida wins. Philadelphia loses.
Florida's only 2 out. Here is a 3-2. Pujols running, and Rolen flies it into center field. Podsednik. Look at Pujols' work.
And unbelievable. You saw the same thing I saw. How he hustled back, knew the ball was going to be caught.
There's not another guy in baseball who would do that.
You know, on a hot day like this, you're already up by 2-0, but he tried to get that extra base, trying to help out Jim Edmonds, get himself in scoring position for the next batter. Never taking anything for granted.
That sequence by Albert Pujols tells you all you need to know about why the guy has been so successful and how he plays with a big money contract. Running on the pitch.
Right on the pitch. He sees it's going to be caught. Look how he hustles to get back to see if he can advance on the putout. He was right there. And it's that work ethic and that type of desire in a game that really pays off.
A lot of guys could learn a lot watching Albert Pujols.
I was thinking the same thing, Joe. You watch that, and it's kind of hard for somebody else to not try to emulate it.
Thinking of that when I was looking at Overbay, holding him on. Now Pujols is running. Throw down, not even close.
Wow. What is going on?
He is possessed. Stolen base for Albert Pujols, his 5th of the year. So much for the bad hamstring. I think that's a thing of the past. Wow. You saw him after that sequence go back to the bag and kind of hang his tongue out to Overbay saying, oh, what a night. And he ends up catching sheet snapping and stealing second easily. No chance for Moeller.
And this just I think the way the Cardinal players, if you think they're going to sit on this lead, just watch this play here in the first.
Edmonds now is driven in 62. On the inside corner, good pitch, strike 2.
And Sheets, when he throws that curveball, it looks like the same release on his fastball. Right over the top, very wicked break. And then he'll get you to chase a lot of fastballs up.
That's right down the middle on a fastball, 2 out. Moeller was calling for it up, and it ended up in the upper part of the strike zone.
Watch Chad Moeller, see where he's trying to get him to go elevate it and get him to chase it, and threw it belt high. He got away with it.
5 first-inning runs allowed in his prior 19 starts, 2 tonight. Single Anderson, RBI double Renteria, RBI single Pujols. Now he's at second after a steal, 2 out for Cedeno.
Get as many as you can because you may not get any more chances.
Cedeno takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Cedeno 5 for 14, 357 off of Ben Sheets.
Albert hoping to get a chance to run hard again. Cedeno's driven in 7. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cedeno off to that slow start to begin the season, had the hamstring trouble. He has proven to be a valuable guy off the bench for Tony La Russa.
I don't know what happened in New York, but his personality fits in very well in St. Louis.
Very likable guy. Foul. What happened, I think you know as well as I, is he got a huge contract from the Mets. Didn't play well. Made some errors in the outfield and just didn't hit. And with that media up there and with the fans and expecting a lot, they started riding him, and it didn't get better. It got worse.
Yeah, one of the Mets broadcasters said that he gave the National Executive of the Year award to the Mets general manager for getting rid of him. That doesn't bode well for trying to turn people around, does it?
No. In fact, the way he's playing right now, Cedeno, he's the kind of guy that the Mets need. The Mets are so station to station and so old and slow that if he was doing what he's doing here, he'd be a valuable part of that team.
Well, he sort of is. They're paying the bulk of the salary. Our benefit, though.
Mets will be here in a couple of weekends. Cedeno out in front of that pitch, and the inning comes to a close. So the Cardinals come up with 2 in the first off the All-Star Sheets. The top three all reached 2-0 after one. Night coming up against the Giants. Give the Cardinals ticket option call 421-3060 or log on to stlcardinals.com. Home plate umpire Fielden Colbreth playing doctor and peering into the eyes of Lyle Overbet. It's one way to make friends. I mean, if you put a little eyelash in your eye and make the umpire be gentle with you. First pitch from Marquis is a ball up and away. We may have dodged the rain. I don't know how, but a lot of those dark clouds have passed us by. Here's a 1-0. Temperature's a lot better. So C.J. Cherry and everybody down in our truck who like to make fun of us because they're wearing jackets while we broadcast up here in the extreme humidity, not that bad. So don't get too excited about it. Marlon Anderson takes care of Overbet, who is hitless in this series so far. 1 out.
I think Jason has his sinker working tonight.
Must.
Every ball's been hit on the ground. That's what Dave Duncan, I think when he came over, one thing they did is they said, hey, you're in the rotation, so don't be looking over your shoulder. And two, I like, or Dave Duncan said he likes that sinker more than the four-seam fastball, so throw that one. Well, Jockey made a good trade. Trade for both clubs.
Said, how about those guys put me on camera when I'm eating a chicken wing?
Well, they probably had their jackets and sweaters on.
1 ball, 1 strike. With 1 out, nobody on. Keith Ginter getting the start tonight. He's hit 10 home runs, batting .249. There's a good pitch from Marquis. A strike on the inside corner. Strike 2. I just like guys with New York accents. They just come off as tough. And Marquis has that heavy New York accent. Should be handled. Nice little room service hop. Renteria comes up for him. 2 out. Another ground ball. And with the bases empty, the batter will be Moeller, the catcher.
Every ball today has been a ground ball. He's second best in the National League with that ratio of ground balls to fly balls, 2.4.
Cardinals have won 11 of their last 12 here at home. They've dropped only a couple of games in the last 2.5 weeks, which is amazing.
Home Arbor. They just remember he had that 10-game winning streak at home before losing the final game before the All-Star break.
Then they won 5 of 6 on a trip.
5 of 6 on a trip. Win last night.
2-0 now on Chad Moeller, who's hitting .229.
Got the pitching staff now that starters can go deep into a game. The bullpen can close it. They can outslug you.
Speaking of closing a game, it is the Cardinals' intention tonight to not use Jason Isringhausen. He will remain right there in the Cardinal dugout as opposed to the bullpen unless something crazy happens. They want to give him the day off. Here comes a 2-1 to Moeller. Up the middle, and the second hit of the night for Milwaukee. That will keep the inning going for Craig Counsell. So 1 on, 2 out, and Counsell coming up. We want to wish special birthday greetings to usherette Bobby Chaskelson and usher supervisor Cindy Edson, celebrating their birthdays today. On the 22nd, we got that on the right day. I know you got something over there. What do you got?
Happy 54th birthday wishes to Gary Hardenbrook from Princeton, Indiana, from his lovely wife, Judy.
Strike 1 over the outside corner to Counsell, hitting .245.
We got a sign, Joe. We'll talk about it later. It really doesn't involve us, but it's got our name on it.
Here's an 0-1 from Marquis. Council takes ball one. The Cardinals are 3-5 against Milwaukee this season, and 1-2 against the Montreal Expos. Those are the only two teams that have a winning record against the Cardinals this season. The Expos will be here. That's a clunker into right center field. Might drop. Anderson can't get to it. Did everything he could, and it's first and third, 2 out, with Ben Sheets coming up. A late break by Cedeno and right. Marlon Anderson did everything but catch it. Good try.
I thought he was going to get to it, looking over the shoulder. Oh, he just missed it. Got a nice divot out there, but just beyond his reach. But great effort by Marlon. He didn't get called off by his right fielder, so he stayed in pursuit. And Ben Sheets, not much of a hitter.
He is 2 out of 34. He does have an RBI this season. So let's see if Marquis can get him and end this 2-out threat. Lost the bat. Look out.
Boy, there was a mother with her young daughter in her hands right in front of it, and she deflected that right there. Nice going, Mom. She deflected that bat away from her daughter, and hopefully nobody got hurt. She got her hand on it, but I think she was really preoccupied with keeping her away from daughter, and did a nice job.
First and third, 2 out, and a ball outside. So I don't know whose bat Sheets just gave away, but he gave the bat. And now he's up there with a new one.
He snapped an 0 for 41 slide at the plate dating back to August 3rd, 2003.
Look at that pitch come back. That would make Maddox drool. That's what Maddox can do with a pitch, but he can't throw it as hard.
You know, Joe, Maddox was matched up against Jason for the third time this year, and the last time Maddox was drooling. Said, man, I never saw that sinker in Atlanta.
Here's a 1-2. Got him, and the inning is over. Strikeout number 1 for Marquis. Base hit up the middle by Moeller. A flare into right by Council, but the Brewers strand a couple. Watch out when you're at the old ballpark. Flying bats, baseballs, everything. 2-0 Cards. Co-direct moment. Quote of the day. It's the reason we're 26 games over 500. We don't have to win the same way every night, said Jason Isringhausen on last night's victory to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And you get no argument out of us. Defense one night, dominant pitching another night. Outslug a team if they have to. The mark of a good team, and that definitely describes the Cardinals. Mabry, 1 ball, 1 strike. John getting the start tonight. His average 280, and he has been a nice help after coming up, just forcing the Cardinals to call him up with a terrific first month and a half down in Memphis. That's a little inside. 2-1. One of the real good guys in baseball. Mabry rips it foul. He has his 10 years in now officially in the big leagues. And more than just getting to that mark, he has been a contributing piece to this Tony La Russa puzzle this year. That is down and in, 2-2.
Yeah, one time Langford's name was inserted there, but it was scratched out, and Mabry was put in.
The next to John is hit in the air to left center field. Sednick and Jenkins looked at each other, and Jenkins takes it 1 out. That will bring in Yadier Molina. Molina walks in with his average sitting at 270. Mike Maddox Little brother Greg won number 298 today.
Yeah, he's done a very good job with his pitching staff. Everybody remarks about what a great job older brother's done. And of course, Mike will talk and Ned Yost brag about the good job the catchers. Molina, you know, is chip off the old block of Matheny. And a nice comments from Mike Matheny talking about the working relationship he has with Molina. Other guys help him now, but he appreciates his work ethic.
That's going to get out of play. And strike 2 on Molina.
And maybe a very important thing, his respect for the game.
Mike Matheny is all class. And I talked earlier about the comments that Eli Marrero made to me one day, just praising Mike Matheny and how much he taught him. Matheny cut his teeth in this Milwaukee Brewers organization. A hanging breaking ball. Molina hit it pretty hard, but Jenkins goes to get it 2 out. With the bases empty, Jason Marquis will bat.
You know, another sign of respect is the way a former organization talks about you, and they love Matheny. There's not a person that's been around when Mike was with the Milwaukee Brewers that doesn't have the kindest and talk about his durability and how tough mentally and physically he is.
Well, let me spend some Cardinal money and just say that I hope that Mike Matheny doesn't have any more former organizations. This is it for him. He is a free agent to be, and talk about a rock and a leader and a valuable piece to this Cardinal team. I don't know how you can do without him. That's a strike, and it's 1-2 on Marquis.
Well, how about part of the St. Louis community too?
That's a big part of it. Marquis has 11 hits. He is now 11 out of 40 as he strikes out, and for Sheet, strikeout number 3. Into the 3rd inning, 2-0 Cardinals. And it's 2-0. The Cardinals on top. Each side has 3 hits. Top of the order for each side will bat. Start this 3rd. That means for Milwaukee, Podsednik, Clark, and Jenkins. Cardinals come into this game with a 9.5 game lead over the Cubs, who won earlier today. 11 over Cincinnati and 12.5 over Milwaukee. Podsednik takes a strike. The Cardinals, if they meet the Cubs again this season, they will do so in the National League Championship Series, which would be a heck of a lot of fun.
Oh.
The 0-1. You don't think any of that bad blood would carry over into October?
No.
Every time the two teams get together, something happens.
Cub fans will tell you there'll be a handful in postseason with that pitching staff, no doubt about it. But Tony La Russa will take his chances with the deck of cards he has.
Jim Edmonds has a couple of bruises on his leg as mementos of that series in Chicago, and Carlos Zambrano. Here's a 1-2. Weak little ground ball to Albert. And a tough hitter, Podsednik, is taken care of. Now 3 out of 6 in the series. 1 down, and the batter will be Brady Clark. Clark hit one back to Marquis his first time up. Cardinals have tonight's game and then entertain the Giants over the weekend. Suppan and Hermanson. I started to talk about this last night, never got to the name. Carpenter against Tomko.
Yeah, I know. And
Hermanson and Tomko, the first 2 in here. And then
sound familiar to Cardinal fans.
Jerome Williams against Matt Morris. So the Cardinals don't have to deal with the most dominant pitcher in the National League, if not all of baseball, Jason Schmidt, as they take on the Giants over the weekend. The Giants start today 2.5 games out behind the electrifying Dodgers.
What do you think the Dodgers are going to do before the trading deadline?
They got to get a hitter. 3 hops to Renteria. Clark is gone. They were looking at Delgado. He says he doesn't want to go anywhere, which is surprising. Mad Hungarian Legends Classic is coming up Sunday and Monday, August 8th and 9th. Sunday is the Gala Pairings Party at the Ritz-Carlton, Clayton. And then Monday is the golf outing at Algonquin. 9 a.m. shotgun, continental breakfast, greens fees, cart gift, $3,000 per team, sponsorship and team opportunities available. As Jenkins grounds out to short. That'll do it for the top of the order for the Brewers in the third inning. Great names coming, and that's coming up August 8th and 9th. We'll give you the number when we come back. 2-0, the Cardinals on top of the order for St. Louis. Anderson, Renteria, Pujols, and a bunt didn't go anywhere. And Moeller almost waited too long. The throw almost took the glove of Overbay into the body of Marlon Anderson. 1 out. Another few feet, that might have been a base hit. Sheets gets the leadoff man, and now Renteria will bat. We were talking about that golf tournament. Just to give you the numbers for Sunday, August 8th and Monday, August 9th for Al's charity golf tournament. Judy Egelhoff at 314-770-1626. It benefits the Health Careers Foundation.
I've got the fabulous Motown Review on Sunday night at Ritz. You can just come to that event and not be a part of the golf, and it's going to be a great time. 32 different celebrities.
Some good names on this list.
You ever been around Brooks Robinson? He is
no.
One of the classiest guys you'll ever be around.
Here's a 2-0. I'd like to get his assessment on what he sees when he watches Scott Rowland.
You know what? I will make a point to ask him about that. He watches. Conrad Dobler's coming in.
That's down the right field line. Slicing foul. 2-2 on Edgar as more dark clouds roll in overhead.
Ida Blue. Luis Tiant. Of course, we got Ferguson Jenkins, Bob Gibson. Some of our local favorites, Bernie Perderko and Jackie Smith, Red Changes, those Hall of Famers. Pagnazzi, Bob Warner, Keith Hernandez, and a lot of our local guys. Keith Kachuk.
2-2 to Edgar on the inside corner. 2 out, and Field and Culbreth showing great form as he rings up Edgar Renteria. That was pretty.
He's having some fun.
He enjoyed that, didn't he?
Joe, I got 2 different emails here from Linda Morton, wanting to wish her husband John happy 57th birthday on one and 56th birthday on the other. So whichever one you are, John, happy birthday. In Mexico, Missouri, I guess they lose track quickly, but happy birthday.
1 ball, no strikes on Albert Pujols, who has an RBI single and a stolen base. Into right field. Field and Culbreth disappointed he didn't get to ring somebody up. But he got a chance to do it with Edgar Renteria. I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me. Watch this. Come on, Ben, throw it. On this Snooks date in history, 1923, Walter Johnson notches his 3,000th strikeout. The big train ended his career with over 3,500. Look at this. Huh? Little sidewinding act. Comes from down under. The big train, Walter Johnson.
I remember Big Train, you know, and you probably saw that video the first time when Bob Gibson got to 3,000 strikeouts. Almost makes me think that he was the second one to do so. I don't know if he passed him in career strikeout.
I don't know. But I do know that Nolan Ryan is #1 all time with over 5,700. In the hole, Edgar. Can he turn it into an out? Safe.
Oh. Had a little trouble with the exchange, but what an unbelievable effort and play by Edgar. And Wes Helms would have died if he would not have beaten this one out. From his knees, he bobbles, and then look at the momentum he tries to. And he's out.
He's out.
It wasn't even close. How can you not have that great effort and not get the call?
That is Jim Wolf. There was a little, it looked like, and then our tape stopped. It looked like there was a little bobble at the end, but it certainly looked like Pujols had controlled it. The foot of Helms was still in the air. Here's Overbay. 1 on, nobody out, strike 1. A little lightning. Saw a moment ago overhead. It wants to rain.
It will.
We need the rain.
Later tonight.
There's some more lightning.
It's going to be a 20-degree drop in temperatures from this afternoon to tomorrow.
Strike 2 on Overbay.
You probably had close to 10 degrees drop since this game started.
Overbay grounded out his first time up. One of those good sinkers could induce a double play ball. Same person's caught all 3 foul balls by Overbay. Still 0-2. A lot of finals in as most of baseball wrapping up 2-game series before a weekend set of dates against another team.
Boston have a day-night doubleheader?
We do. They lost the opener. They've lost the first 2 games of that series to Baltimore. They've lost with Pedro Martinez and Kurt Schilling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 2 out.
That's always the beauty of having a sinker ball pitcher. One pitch, you can always get 2. And very nice with this. Goes right down, smothers the ball with a second hand, no wasted motion, flips to Anderson, head high and right over the top to complete the double play.
Now with the bases empty, Ginter gets a base hit into right. Second hit of the inning in for Milwaukee, their 5th hit.
Hey, Joe, we had one of our good friends stop by the booth a little while ago, Tim Tegler.
I saw him. And Tim wanted us to let you know that he's here with Simone Learning Group, Batter's Eye Club.
No way. You brought those guys all around the country?
Yes.
And they're in the Batter's Eye. Timmy Tegler did that?
Yes.
Wow. No wonder the winds are blowing.
It is howling. With 1 on and 2 out. First pitch is a ball to Moeller. Moeller a base hit his first time up. It is going to pour. 2-0.
Can't pour when we want to talk to Ray King.
Well, if I was Ray King, I would start heading for cover out in that bullpen. Hi, Ray. He's out there waving. It's going to get nasty. Here's a 2-0. 3-0. On deck is the number 8-man council.
Well, let's get this inning over with. Get into the 5th. Get their at bat through.
Al, I don't know if we have that much time. Here's a 3-0 to Moeller. 3-1. Cardinals in the bottom of this 4th inning will have Rolen, Edmonds, and Cedeno. And that will happen either momentarily or in about an hour after the rain stops. 3-2 as Marquis tries to come back after a 3-0 start.
Highest paid weatherman in St. Louis.
And probably the most accurate.
You're going to get those letters
again. I don't
again.
care. Send it on, people. Here's a 3-2. The runner at first will go. 2 on with 2 out. That was close. That is the first walk of the night for Marquis. And now with 2 on and 2 down, here comes Craig Counsell, who singled his first time up. A little flare into shallow right center. Hitting .248, 15 RBIs. Product of Notre Dame waits for the first from Marquis. Strike one. Runners on at first and second. Here's an 0-1 from the Cardinal right-hander. It's too wide, 1-1. Cardinals started the day with the best record in the major leagues, 26 games over 500. Winners of 14 of their last 16. Here's a 1-1. Pujols to his right, feeds Marquis, and let's go to the bottom of the fourth. Marquis pitching very well. The Cardinals will have the middle part of the order coming up. Edgar Renteria did all he could. Came so close to start this inning. Still 2-0 Card. When there is a microphone and it's open, Steve Klein can't be far away, but he is now scooted to the background, and Ray King has been nice enough to join us yet again. Ray, you're falling into a regular routine with us. This has been good.
Trying to get my second job, you know. Never know when this game's over.
Well, if this year's any indication, you got a while to go, man. You got to be thrilled with the way you're hurling.
It's been great, but you know, I give a lot of credit to guys around me, from catching to Tony to all the guys in the bullpen that set me up in this situation. And you know, unfortunately, coming those strikes, things happen.
When you pitch on a night like last night, I talked to Woody before the game today, and he said he hasn't felt right all day. Now, granted, he went 7 innings. And what's Klein doing?
Ain't no telling.
What does a night like last night take out of you physically with the heat and the humidity and all that?
Well, last night, you know, Woody went out and battled. You catch a lot of guys in situations, especially with the humidity there. Maybe took their 5-6 innings when you went to the house. But you know, last night it was muggy. You're sweating. You know, balls get a little slippery every once in a while. But you know, Woody is a true veteran last night. You know, afterwards he looked like he'd been fighting for years. Right now. But, you know, he's just a guy that went out and gave us some quality innings and, you know, just shows the true leadership and veteran that he want to win every ball game.
Here's a pop-up. The only guy going after it's Overbay. And Roland is out. You guys are really mature out of the bullpen, Ray.
Hey, we got 6 dummies out there.
Who's that? You got Cal.
Watch out, I take that back. 5 dummies and Cal.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can't include Cal in that.
No.
No, you know.
Look at Klein. I mean, Steve Klein is in his own world.
He's different. He's about 50 cars short of a deck.
He's only playing with 2. Good Lord.
And then the jokers.
Yeah, exactly.
And here I try to tell everybody that all the things that you think go on in the bullpen really don't. And then they prove it. I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, they're kids out there. That's good, though. It keeps you guys loose. You know, Al said last night, Ray, that this is a week where you figure to get a lot of action. I mean, you got Milwaukee in here. They've got a lot of left-handed bats, and then you know who's coming in over the weekend. Here's a fly ball. Ray, are you going to catch this?
I'm going to catch it.
Ray, catch it, baby.
It went over my head. Coming back. Let me see it. Slider.
3-0 Cardinals on Edmonds' home run here in the 4th.
Into the kid. A little kid. Right here in the red. Right there. That you do this more often. See what happened?
How about that? That was right over your head.
I know. Whoa.
That pitch was up. That's where Edmonds loves it. And with 1 out, he makes it 3-0. Now Cedeno hits it foul. You know, I think fans, here's your effort, by the way. We're looking at it on replay. I mean, you got to do more to get up and get this ball, right?
Well, you know, I didn't want to run in the corner, you know. But I came back and I went it, right?
With 1 out, Cedeno takes the ball.
Now, which young child or young Cardinal fan did you select? And how did you select them to get that home run ball? As the microphone goes out.
The microphone is honked out, Ray.
Uh-oh.
There we go. You're back.
Now, here's... No, if I
Now you're going again.
I usually pick up one kid that I select. If I go in the game, I get that ball to him. So tonight he got lucky and got it earlier.
Well, we're going to watch it on the replay. We haven't seen who the kid is. Here's the kid that you picked. And it's nice that you get to hand it, Ray, to somebody else who gets to at least touch it, but then has to give it up. As an infield hit off the bat of Cedeno, makes it 1 on, 1 out. Helms couldn't do anything with it. Ray, we love you, but that mic's cutting in and out, so we're going to say goodbye.
I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for your time. 1 on, 1 out here, and Mabry will be the hitter. Ray King has just fit in every way with this Cardinal team.
I mean, what a luxury Tony La Russa has, having two left-handers that you can call on every single night. And, you know, it has the good stuff, and he takes it to the mound every day. Wants to pitch, wants to be out there, good competitor.
It's raining. Probably one of the reasons why that
he's playing
microphone
in the rain.
kept cutting out. It looks awful. The clouds rolling in.
Now the fans are really starting to scatter.
1 on, 1 out. Mabry waits. We are obviously short of an official game. Mabry pops it up into left field for Jenkins. That should be out number 2. It is. Mabry's done that twice tonight. The batter will be Yadier Molina. I was going to ask Ray, and I didn't want to keep making him try to talk through the static out in right field. But do players think the way that fans do? Let's hurry up and get this over with and get 3 more outs and make this thing an official game?
Sure, especially when it's not affecting his batting average.
Not at all. With 2 out, Molina.
You know, players are like fans and like broadcasters. Once a game starts, the last thing they want to see is a prolonged rain delay. And once it starts, they would rather play it straight through than, you know, have a delay, even if it means an abbreviated win.
Cardinals, after they make it out here, whenever that happens, Cedeno might want to run here.
You know, it appears to have a very ugly sky, but as far as the volume of rain, we're going to play for quite a while. We're going to get an official game in.
It is just gray, almost brown,
almost Dorothy-like.
It is. And if your color's off on your TV set at home, it really looks bad. Here's an 0-1. That's into right field. Should end the bottom of the 4th inning. And Edmonds' home run right over the head of Ray King in the inning. Number 23 on the year. Our thanks to Ray King. We await the arrival of Charlton Heston with the skies like this. 3-0. The sky and the weather for a minute. Just do the top of the 5th inning as the Brewers will send in their starting pitcher, Ben Sheets, who just gave up a home run to Jim Edmonds. It's now 3-0 St. Louis. Sheets goes after the first pitch, and we are 2 outs away from an official game with Podsednik and Clark coming up.
If you have been a Cardinal fan since 1926 and you're recovering from heart surgery and you're 87 years of age and you're watching this game and your name is Mary Blanche Young, we want to wish you a speedy recovery and get well and come out and see the Cardinals in person. Get well, Mary.
Podsednik takes his time getting to the plate, as Sheets will have a chance to go down into the dugout, take a seat. I wouldn't expect anything different from anybody out on that field. To look up and check the sky. Here's Podsednik, and there's ball 1 high. It is just sprinkling, but that could change. Here's a 1-0. 2-0. Podsednik tonight has an infield hit. He's grounded out weakly to first. The 2-0 pitch to his right. Marlon Anderson, 2 out. Good play. And it's nice to keep Podsednik off base, as Marquis has done 2 of the 3 times he's been to the plate. Now Brady Clark will be the hitter.
Well, that's a real key with this Milwaukee bunch. They're struggling scoring runs as it is right now, and if you can keep Podsednik off, the National League base stealing leader, you're halfway through.
You know, these Cardinal fans are aware of the situation, with Marquis being 1 out away from making this an official game. Now 2 strikes away as we play here in the top of the 5th. Cardinals up by 3. Strike 1 to Clark, who was grounded out twice, once to Marquis, once to short. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low to mid 90s fastball with a lot of movement. There aren't a lot of pitchers that have that ability.
Yeah, good power sinker.
The 1-1 to Clark. 1. After Clark, it's Jenkins, and Tony La Russa is trying to position his defense. We're talking to Molina about just challenging this hitter. Here's a 2-1. 2.
Breaking ball there. And, you know, it just becomes a major distraction because, you know, you're trying to get through this out and make it an official game, and then all of a sudden, if you keep on going, sometimes you mentally have geared yourself just for it to stop.
Or I would imagine you have to guard against rushing to get through 5 minutes.
Yes.
You still have to pitch. You still have to attack these hitters. Go with your game plan. Here's a 2-2. Base hit. That'll keep it going for Jenkins. Jeff is 0 for 2. Brewers were shut out last night 1-0. So far they've been shut out through 4 2/3, 3-0.
Talking with their coaches before yesterday's game, they were just talking about they're having a terrible time trying to score runs. And Ned Yost's pitching staff has been a real plus.
Ball 1 to Jenkins.
They keep him in every game. They're in a stretch where they're playing a lot of Central Division opponents and having their problems.
Jenkins waits for a 1-0. 2-0. On deck is Wes Helm.
Here's what you're talking about, Joe. You got one of their home run hitters. Jenkins, one of their threats, and trying to finish it off. Maybe you speed up your mental process, and all of a sudden then you bring up, if you let this guy get on, then the potential tying run comes to the plate.
Jenkins hits it in the air to left field. Back is Mabry on the run, and this is an official game. Great running catch by Mabry to end the top of the 5th. It kept cutting on him, and Mabry kept adjusting to it on the move. And Jason Marquis is through 5 shutout innings. It kept coming back on him. Good play by Mabry. 3-0 Cardinals. First pitch is to Marquis, and it's outside, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cardinals lead 3-0. Marquis is 0 for 1, and he takes a good breaking ball from Sheets. 1 ball, 1 strike. Excuse me. Sheets struck out Marquis his first time, and Ben has 4 strikeouts tonight.
Jason leads the National League pitchers with 11 hits and tied for first with 5 RBIs. Earlier he had a 6-game hitting streak.
Cardinals put their first 3 on with a hit by Anderson, an RBI double by Renteria, and an RBI base hit by Pujols. And then got a home run from Jim Edmonds in the 4th, and that's all the scoring.
The sky still looks bad, but it looks like some of the fans are coming back to their seats.
Marquis strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. That's number 5 for Sheets. Our Aflac trivia question is... Aflac! Thank you, Gilbert Gottfried. When was the last time 2 members of the Cardinals finished 1st and 2nd in MVP voting? I have no idea.
Good question.
Marlon Anderson now, 1 for 2. Good breaking ball from Sheets, strike 1.
In the 60s, or would it be in the 80s?
Could be in the 40s.
It could be in the 40s.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Anderson takes ball 2. Here's a 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. Renteria next. Three and 2. San Francisco Giants lost today 9-4, and they did so with Schmidt on the mound. And I don't know if the story is that or that the San Diego Padres with David Wells are rolling. I haven't seen the Padres this season. I haven't. And they seem to have a good thing going with Bruce Bochy and their young pitching, first year in the new ballpark.
Well, I think a lot of people may not be aware of what a good manager Bruce Bochy is.
A 1-out walk to Marlon Anderson.
A lot of people felt some of that young pitching was going to come true. Phil Nevin has come back. You can't stay healthy, can you?
No, every year there's something, and sometimes it's twice a year. Here's Edgar. Renteria is 1 for 2 with an RBI double and a run scored. Check on Marlon Anderson, who might do some running. Cardinals have stolen a base. That was with Albert. Renteria hitting .293 now as his average continues to climb. Ball 1. Now a meeting from Moeller.
Yeah, but you know, you brought up a good point about the Cardinals maybe stealing. You got a pitcher that throws an awful lot of strikes. So he's always around the plate, giving that batter an opportunity to protect a base runner. Kind of guy that you can put the hit and run on with, too. Does get a lot of strikeouts, though.
See the Cardinals start Anderson. Not going, and Renteria takes ball 2, which could increase the chances of Anderson taking off. Renteria, strike 1. The up to the minute National League wild card standings. San Diego leads San Francisco by 1 game and Chicago by 2. Giants right now are 9 games over the 500 mark, while the Cardinals are 26. That's the matchup Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Houston's starting to play a little better.
Here's a 2-1. Now Anderson's running and a base hit to left. Marlon will turn and go to third. Cardinals used the hit and run to perfection last night. It did lead to an error, but it led directly to the only run of the night. And it was a hit and run in the 9th inning 2 days ago at Wrigley Field with Renteria on that Pujols ended up hitting the ball out of the ballpark to win the game.
Yeah, he messed up. He hit the ball in the air, not on the ground. Got that man running, and it was a hit and run the way he was not running hard and looking in.
Hey, when it's working, things are going your way.
I know, but isn't it amazing, though, sometimes, you know, you got everything right, but you do something wrong, and it works out better.
On the inside corner for a strike. less than 2 out. That's surprising. That's not better. 14 out of 29 times, yet he's driven in 71, including one tonight as he chased there at 0-2.
It might be interesting to see what that number would be if he went a month ago. You know, what he's done the last month and what he did the first couple months.
Here comes an 0-2 pitch. Pujols went, and that is out number 2. Pujols doesn't believe Field and Coldbreath, but he is out.
Well, this is one thing with Ben Sheets, because he's got that great curveball and he usually keeps it down. He will throw a lot of pitches up by design and get this reaction. Watch Muller. He's up high and he wants the ball up there because hitters see it and they can't stop their swing.
So there is a rare strikeout, number 27 on the year for Pujols, to go with his 27 home runs. And here's Rolen. 330 average, 86 RBIs, first and third, 2 out. Cardinals leading 3-0. Strike one.
Scotty came in with 6 for 20 off of Ben Sheets, but I would think this would be the kind of pitcher that would give him a lot of trouble. 0 for 2 tonight.
One ball, one strike.
94. Keeps that pitch down. Then he's got that tight breaking ball that he releases at the same spot as his fastball. And then that ability to throw the fastball up and get hitters to go after it.
The 1-1. 2-1. On deck is Edmonds.
You see everything down, and then all of a sudden you see something up in your eyes, you're going to swing at it. And with the good velocity he has, it's very difficult to get on top of that ball. And most of the time you swing through it or pop it up. Another one up. That was throw to first, or check to first.
The home run that Edmonds hit last inning was the 13th that Sheets has allowed this season. That leads this Milwaukee staff. He's thrown more innings than anybody else the Brewers have. Good breaking ball for strike 2.
That's surprising, isn't it, that he leads their staff with giving up only 13.
Cardinals are led by
Morris.
Matt Morris, who has allowed 26.
And then, but I mean, look after Morris.
There are a few on there. Rolen hits it in the air to left center field. Back is Podsednik to end the inning. We are through 6, make it 5 innings. We go to the 6th inning now. The Brewers will have the heart of their order. They trail 3-0 as we move into the 6th inning. And we have our pitch-by-pitch feature, which is brought to you by Chevrolet. The way Ben Sheets went after Scott Rolen, started with a fastball, went down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Keeping it down, as Al's been talking about, a good breaking ball for strike 2. Wanting it up, Rolen went after it and flied out to end the 5th and end the threat. Cardinals stranded 2 and have left only 4 tonight. The Brewers have stranded 6. And in the 6th, first up is Wes Helms, the cleanup man. He takes a ball. Hitting .273. He rolls his wrists and pops it into left field. Mabry goes after it to his right, 1 out. Long run, and now Wes Helms is 1 out of 3. Not the fastest guy, but he got there.
Yeah, not the fastest. You know, kind of looks awkward at times, but he gets good jumps. He's got confidence in himself. Goes into this corner, makes a nice play, but the other one was a very, very nice play. A longer run, and as you said, that ball slicing into it, and with a kind of a swirling wind, it was a lot more difficult than he made it look.
That was against Jenkins in the 5th. Now with 1 out here in the 6th, it's Overbay. That's a foul ball. Overbay is 0 for 5 in this series. Comes in at .339 overall.
And worth mentioning, he still has not driven in a run in the second half. And 62 RBIs on the year.
Overbay started the day tied with Sean Casey for the number 2 spot in the National League. Barry Bonds leads it at .362. The amazing thing is what's going on in the American League with the Detroit Tigers and with their catcher Ivan Rodriguez, who is hitting .361. It's happened 3 times. A catcher leading a league in batting average. And Ivan Rodriguez is 12 points better than Melvin Mora of Baltimore. Nice pickup by Pujols. Flip to Marquis, 2 out.
Do you remember when the last time was?
Bubbles Hargrave did it, and after Bubbles, it's escaping me.
No, it was a question. I don't know the answer.
It was a long time ago. Our Aflac trivia answer. The last time 2 members of the Cardinals finished first and second in MVP voting, 1967. Orlando Cepeda and my guy Tim McCarver, who may be watching down in Florida right now. If you are, I'll see you in Boston tomorrow.
He's smiling if he is.
That's great. I didn't even realize that. 1967. That was a particularly good year.
Yes, it was.
Here's an 0-1 to Keith Ginter. Good fastball by Marquis, who's been dominant. 0-2.
You know who the general manager was in '67? One year he was general manager. That'll tell you right there. Stan Musial. Everything he touched is gold.
Here's a 0-2 pitch to Ginter with 2 out. Rolling to his right. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Another 1-2-3 inning for Marquis. The Cardinals will have Edman, Cedeno, and Mabry. They lead at 3-zip. Cardinals take on Barry Bonds and the defending NL West champion San Francisco Giants. Tomorrow night coverage begins at 6:30 with Cardinals tonight. Dan McLaughlin right here on FSN Midwest. 1987. Jose Oquendo, big NLCS home run for the Cardinals.
If it's Oquendo hitting a home run,
it had to be against the Giants.
And it had to be a left-hander.
The 1-1. Our producer Mike Helling said Atlee Hammaker, and I think he's right.
I think he's right too. The lawman got Viola in the World Series with the. What do you think Zambrano would have done on that one?
I think Carlos would have liked that.
Hit the first row of the second deck.
That's strike 3. Edmonds knew it. He had been had. That is 7 strikeouts for the strikeout machine, Ben Sheets. Sunday, a great item. We had a chance to look it over tonight. The first 25,000 fans, 16 and over with a paid admission, receive a calendar featuring Cardinal players and pets, courtesy of Pfizer. Each month highlights a different player hanging out with a furry friend. Get information on this and other Cardinal promotions. Call the Cardinals 314-421-3060 or log on to stlcardinals.com. Roger Cedeno takes ball 2, 2-0. Cedeno tonight is 1 for 2 an infield hit his last time up. Hitting .291. 2-1. Mabry on deck, and whoa! This thing almost took the cap off the head of Overbay. Took a bad bounce, and Cedeno's going to try to make it to third. Poor throw by Clark and right, and he makes it with only 1 out. Clark missed the cutoff man, the first cutoff man, and that may have cost the Brewers an out.
And Joe, you were talking about the Mets needing something other than station to station, and first of all, Cedeno picks up his second hit, and Overbay's lucky he doesn't get decapitated on the bad hop down into the right field corner. He's got the play in front of him. You see him look over at Oquendo, and that long stride and diving into the third base bag comes up safe. Here's what you're talking about, missing the cutoff man. Not a particularly good throw. Missed the first guy, and Counsell throws, short hops to third baseman Wes Helm.
Now the infield has to come in for the play at the plate. The Brewers don't want to fall any further behind. Runner at third, 1 out for Mabry.
Well, you got the right kind of pitcher on the mound in order to get the strikeout, but John's got that sacrifice fly working.
Strike one. Bubbles Hargrave led the league in hitting as a catcher in 1926. Somebody did it since then. Hit 353 that year.
I thought Yogi might have done it once.
No.
Nope.
Good guess, but no.
Of course, I might also have to admit that I thought Bubbles was a made-up name.
Bubbles Hargrave. 1 ball, 1 strike. John Mabry, runner at third, 1 out. Mabry in the hole 1 and 2, and Sheets needs a strikeout. He has 7 on the night. Getting around a bad bounce triple by Cedeno. 13 hits tonight. Cardinals have 7 of them after getting 3 hits, all singles last night, a 1-0 win. They wanted it up. Sheets delivered it up, and now a long run. Still coming. That's a fair ball. In to score is Cedeno. Back to first with a well-placed single is Mabry, and it's 4-0. Jenkins had the play right in front of him, and I'm surprised he didn't unleash one to the plate there. It's easy to say up here, but I was surprised that Cedeno even went.
I mean, you're exactly right. I thought when he let the ball go that Cedeno was just going to say, well, it's not deep enough. I'm not going to try advance. But you look at Jenkins, who has not made an error in over 240 games in left field. He never even thought about going home with a throw. He wanted to keep Mabry to a single. Mabry's thankful.
That ball's well hit. Center field by Yadier Molina, but back to get it is Podsednik, and Mabry has to go all the way, retouch second, and get back to first, 2 out. And that will bring Marquis to the plate.
Bob and Sharon Price were at the game tonight celebrating Sharon's birthday. And Bob says, if I told you her age, I'd have to walk back to Springfield.
Marquis is at the plate, and we'll give you our hot pitch of the game, brought to you by Hardee's, and that sinker ball has been working very well tonight for the Cardinal right-hander.
If it's working well, he gets ground balls. And there you see a good one.
Now trying to get a hit. He has 11 on the season. He takes ball 2. Action for Milwaukee in their bullpen is their pitcher Sheets is due up third in the top of the 7th.
Jeff Bennett, right-hander, warming up. They don't have any lefties in their pen.
Good rip by Marquis, but a better fastball from Sheets, 2-1.
105 pitches. So he walked 1, but you can see he's got that pitch count up.
A squirter foul, 2-2. Let's go back to that play down the left field line with Jenkins. You can see how close Jenkins is and where Cedeno is when Jenkins gets it.
That's an awkward way of going to home plate, isn't it? I know it's looked like he almost had a step into foul territory instead of just going straight to the home plate, but Oquendo was right there telling him and directing him what to do. It was shocking that Jenkins never thought about throwing home.
Here's a 2-2. Marquis stays up there. Go back one more time.
Watch Cedeno. I mean, he's looking there, but watch his first step. He's trying to get a look at it, and he almost runs into Oquendo.
The 2-2. Marquis rips a base hit into right. Mabry will go to third. And it's kicked by Clark. They are going to hold Mabry late. Marquis gets into second. Oquendo started to wave Mabry home and then came way down the line and held him up at the last moment. And it's second and third, 2 out with Anderson coming up.
Well, that's Oquendo doing his job. As a third base coach, you'll bring that man as far as you can, and then at the last second, you make your decision. But that's why it's imperative for you to come way down the line. If you're too close to third base bag, then it cuts down that decision making. If you come halfway down the line, then you can watch the play develop, and if they see if the relay is executed, then you can hold him at third.
Cardinals have knocked out one of the game's best. Ben Sheets started the night with a microscopic ERA, best in the game of 2.28. He is finished here in the 6th inning. Marlon Anderson will be the hitter when we come back. New pitcher Jeff Bennett, second and third, 2 out. Cardinals already leading 4-0 in the 6th. Home field advantage goes to the family arriving at the game in their all-new Ford Freestar. Now up to $6,000 cash back or 0% APR for 60 months. Only at your quality Ford stores, your home run to Cardinal baseball fun. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel. It's the right-hander Jeff Bennett.
We saw him make his major league debut back on April the 6th against St. Louis. 1 in the 3rd innings. He's made the club as a Rule 5 draft pick from the Pittsburgh Pirates. And you can see working in his 38th ball game. Last year, in the minor leagues for the Pirate organization, he limited left-handed batters to 174 average and held the hitters overall to 213 with runners in scoring position.
Second and third, 2 out. Marlon Anderson trying to bust it open. Fastball from Bennett, strike 1. The pitcher's spot is due up third in the top of the 7th. Sure, Ned Yost wanted to get Sheets through this bottom of the 6th, and I know Ben Sheets wanted to get through the bottom of the 6th and at least have a chance to get a win tonight. No chance for him now. That's strike 2 on Marlon Anderson, and I'm sure he's looking at this inning. That bad hop triple off the bat of Roger Cedeno and that flare fell in the right spot down the left field line by Mabry. What's on tap brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold fresh Budweiser. It's game time tomorrow night, 6:30. Cardinals tonight on FSN Midwest. Hermanson and Suppan. Here's a 0-2 to Marlon Anderson. Ball 1. Just so you know, our great crew looked it up. 1938, 1942 with the Reds and the Braves, Ernie Lombardi. Doug Stanton was the one who tickled the keyboard and found out that information for us. Thanks, Doug. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. All hail the internet. The inning is over. Anderson upset as he slings his bat and his helmet. Bennett gets out of the jam. It's 4-0 Cardinals into the 7th. The lightning and the thunder and the rain notwithstanding, the Cobras are having fun up in the upper deck. You all know about the Cobras, of course. We go to the 7th inning. It's 4-0. The Cardinals on top, and Marquis has been terrific. He has officially now, Al, turned in his 12th quality start.
Yep. You know, it just continues that trend of excellent starting pitching. You know, I mean, when you pitch in a shutout through 6, you know, that's real easy to say, but you come to expect it.
Base hit to start the 7th. Chad Moeller is on again. A hit, a walk, now another hit. Bullpen is active for the Brewers with a pitcher coming up after Counsell, who's walking in now. That is Matt Kenny on the left and Dave Burba on the right. 1 on, nobody out for Counsell, who is 1 for 2. 109 total pitches for Sheets, who went 5 2/3, 4 runs on 9 hits. Strike 1 on Counsell.
Could have had much better, you know, support. And not even talking about offense, defensively, a couple plays could have been made.
Especially in the 6th. However, they weren't. Cardinals caught a break on that bad hop that Cedeno fortunate to get, and the ball hit to the right side.
And you can't discard the Cardinals had 2 runs on the board before he recorded it out.
Base hit by Anderson in the first, an RBI double by Renteria, an RBI hit by Pujols. Here's a 1-1 to Counsell. There's another one into left field, another hit. Mabry gets it on a hop, and the Cardinal bullpen will hop to action.
Good jump by Mabry out there to not let that ball get by him.
We'll have a pinch hitter here tonight in the Best Damn Sports Show period. They find out whatever happened to Vince Ferragamo, former Rams quarterback. John Sally talks to all the stars at the red carpet premiere of Catwoman. Catch the Best Damn Sports Show period tonight at 11, only on Fox Sports Net. Dave Duncan will come out and talk, and the Cardinals will get Klein and Calero loose in the bullpen.
Kieschnick, secret weapon, pitcher, pinch hitter,
He does it all.
hitter,
Outfield.
period. DH, yeah.
We say pitcher, which he is now, but he has only thrown 30 innings this season.
24 games. He's 1-0 with a 3.82 ERA, but he's been a pretty good hitter.
2 on with nobody out. He's also a good double play candidate. Strike 1. We saw Kieschnick take Izzy deep last year. He just lets it go. He swings as hard as he can.
310 with a homer and 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter. Career 333 with a home run and 4 RBIs here at Busch Stadium. On the road, Brooke Kieschnick has a 368 average and 400 average with a home run and 7 runs batted in with runners in scoring position. He can do it all.
Two on with nobody out. The 1-1. Wide, 2-1. Here is the first big opportunity for the Milwaukee Brewers. 2 on with nobody out.
When Kieschnick pitches and gets an at bat, he's a 417 average.
That might be a step, a throw. Got them both. Double play. Rolling. 5-3. Runner at second, 2 out.
How many people have the arm strength to do this? Take, what, almost 4 steps and then throw across a diamond. Kieschnick isn't fast, but you've got to have superior arm strength to make that throw. Stepping into foul territory, getting on top of the ball. And that's what separates Scott Rowland from so many others, is the throwing arm and the athleticism for such a big man to play like a shortstop, the agility of a shortstop.
Well, we talked about the play of Renteria last night, the defensive play and a double play. He's made an eye-popping play tonight, even though he got the ball to first in time. Safe call was given. Now the play by Rowland, as the Cardinals are showing the Brewers 2 things. They're much improved from when they played them early in the year here in St. Louis. And 2, they can beat you 10 different ways. 2-0. Podsednik with an RBI chance. He's driven in 27, and this guy's hit 9 home runs.
Tony La Russa would tell you that he's a Podsednik fan. A guy that they really got off the waivers from Seattle. A lot of these guys are, the scouting department's done an extraordinary job of finding retreads.
You can't name 5 good leadoff hitters in the game today. Can't do it. Ichiro,
Right.
Johnny Damon. This guy, Womack, has been very good this year for the Cardinals. Who else?
That's 4. You said you can't name 5.
Here's the 2-1.
Dave Roberts when he's healthy, but that's been a struggle.
3 balls and a strike. Teams just end up with players there by default.
And the true leadoff man he's gone.
Here's a 3-1. In the air to left field. Marquis gets out of the jam as Mabry puts it away. It was 2 on, nobody out. Marquis still hasn't allowed a run. He's allowed 8 hits. Time to stretch. 4-0 Cardinals. Great play by Roland. Action of the day is brought to you by SBC Yahoo DSL. And it's the play by Roland at third. 5-3 double play to get Kieschnick and help get Marquis out of trouble. In the top of this 7th. Matt Kinney is the new pitcher for Milwaukee, former starter for the Brewers. Guy who's lost a lot of weight since we first saw him, and the call to the bullpen is brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel.
Remember, first week he was in the rotation, pitched against the Cardinals and beat him up, then we went to Milwaukee. And he pitched completely different than the scouting report that the Cardinals were expecting, and he beat the Redbirds. In that game, he pitched inside where the scouting report, they thought everything would be away, such as they're setting up now.
Renneria flies one into right center for Ponsednik. 1 out. It's time, kids, for the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. Bobby Russell is today's merchandise winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. The Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th. Bobby qualifies for the Hyundai Santa Fe drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Here is Albert. 1 for 3. RBI single. Stolen base. His 5th of the year. Ball 1. That's a strike. 1-1. Albert, like he was trying to go to right, now in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Only 1 for 5 in the series. He got the base hit and RBI the first time up. Stole the base. Numbers aren't far off his career marks now.
On 1 and 2, Kenny deals and Pujols pops it up. Shortstop Counsell right behind the bag. 2 out. With Roland walking in, we remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals LLC. Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports and is an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. Here's Scott. 0 for 6 in this series after being a hero. First game of the 2-game set at Wrigley. With the bases empty, Roland lays off ball 2. The Brewers in the 8th will have Clark, Jenkins, and Helms. Their scoreless streak now at 16 innings in this series, which will conclude tonight. They've gone after Roland with pitches up, and Roland is 0 for 7 in this series. We go to the 8th. Cardinals in control. They lead it 4-0.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Today's home run feature brought to you by SunTrip. The Cardinals have hit a home run tonight, 123 on the season. Edmonds got it back in the 4th. SunTrip donating $100 for every Cardinal home run hit to their Win One for the Kids charity fund. And it's 4-0 as we go to the 8th, and Marquis is back to the hill. Jason was close, teetering on the edge until that double play ball off the bat of Kieschnick last inning got him out of trouble. And Marquis at least has to have it in the back of his mind. He makes his 19th start, shooting for his first complete game of the year. Cardinals, by the way, have one, and that belongs to Morris. The 0-1 to Clark, ball one.
Obviously, in a night when Jason Isringhausen is to have off, he gotten saves the last 3 consecutive games. Jason has done his part to go deep in this game. The offense have done their part. Jason a closer never wants to be told he's off, because you don't want to shut down totally mentally and then all of a sudden somebody say, oh, wait a minute, we want you back up.
A 2-1. Fastball still jumping. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This should be the big inning for Marquis with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. If anybody gets on, you have Overbay, their best RBI man.
All you do is just try and go out each batter one at a time. Don't go too far ahead of yourself.
Clark didn't go. It's a full count. Cardinals have activity in their bullpen. Calero, who had been warming, is going to get loose again, it appears. Clark is on with a leadoff base hit. Last inning, the Brewers put their first 2 on, but failed to score. And we will remind you that Tuesday, August 3rd, the Cardinals take on the Expos. Great seats still available, and all fans 15 and under with a paid admission receive a fishing lure featuring Cardinals catcher Mike Matheny's autograph stamped on it. Compliments of Bass Pro Shops. For tickets or more information, contact the Cardinals 421-3060 or log on to stlcardinals.com. Calero getting loose. Jenkins waits for the first from Marquis. Ball one. Ball two. This could be the last hitter for Marquis if he doesn't get Jenkins.
Well, if he doesn't get him, I'm sure it will be, but it's too much at stake. Jason's going to probably end up throwing more innings this year than he ever has, so he's a well-conditioned athlete. He'll be fine.
That's foul ball. 2 balls and a strike.
I was shocked when I was hearing, I think, wishful thinking from some radio people in Chicago that Jason Marquis will throw more innings this year, so he'll break down. Carpenter's had arm problems last 2 years, so he'll break down. I don't think it's going to work that way. They'll be fine.
As opposed to that Cubs rotation, which has been healthy all year.
Yeah.
Here comes a 2-1. Jenkins hits it off the plate foul, 2-2.
And you know, one of the reasons why I think it's going to be fine too, Joe, is the fact that you could take all 5 starters almost every time. They've been right around that 90 pitch mark. You know, you're not getting somebody that goes 2 innings and throws 40, 50 pitches. Then he goes 115. Then he's back to 60. But if you're always keep on right in that 90 to 110 pitches, I think your arm just continues to stay strong.
Here's a 2-2. Jenkins strikes out on a nasty pitch, 1 on, 1 out. Good pitch from Marquis, who gets only his 2nd strikeout of the night.
I think Jason has realized that strikeouts are nice, but getting outs of big league hitters is more important. And here's a nice strikeout. He gets a good hitter, goes right over the top on the breaking ball, but he's going deeper in games because he's not getting the strikeouts.
That's a pass ball on Molina. Down to second goes Clark. Our Bank of America higher standards. We look at the Cardinals' 2 starters in this 2-game set. Woody Williams, 7 innings last night, no runs. Tonight, Marquis into the 8th, no runs, only 1 walk. Here's a 1-0 to Helms. Good spot for that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Had a 1-0 game here last night. The Yankees in Toronto had a 1-0 game today. 2 out in the 9th inning. A home run by Ruben Sierra, the only run. A win for New York. Here's a 1-1. Just low. 2-1.
We kind of showed it last night in one of our graphics that how poor the Cardinals record was in 1-run games. Not just talking about 1-0 games, but 1-run games period. And this team is much better suited to play those close ones.
Here's a 2-1. Good pitch. 2-2. 93 for a long night on a muggy evening for Marquis. By the way, the last time the Yankees won a game with a walk-off home run, a 1-0 affair, 1969. Do you know who hit the home run?
Pepitone.
Yes. 2-2 pitch.
I guessed.
Off balance and caught by Edmonds in center. 2 down. Runner at second, 2 away, and the batter will be Overbay. The Sports List is the new show that counts down the top 10 best and worst of everything and anything in sports. Tomorrow, find out what were the 10 best home runs. The Sports List with host Summer Sanders tomorrow at 5, only on Fox Sports 10.
So it really was Pepitone?
It was.
You ever met Pepitone?
Oh, yeah. He is a piece of work.
I get along great with him.
Oh, he's funny. He's terrific. Runner at second, 2 out for Overbay, hitting .338. He's 0 for 6 in this series. For the most part, and I know that Sednick has 3 hits in this series, the Cardinals have solved their 2 big threats in this lineup, Sednick and Overbay. Cardinals couldn't get him out the first series of the season. Either one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Sednick is like a .400 average against the Cardinals, and here at Busch Stadium.
Breaking ball for strike 2.
Overbay was 2 for 3 against Marquis with a home run coming in. 0 for 3, backdoor breaking ball, freezes him, and it breaks to the outside corner.
With 2 out, Overbay grounds to short. Renteria has to grab it with a backhand. Long throw. Defense terrific again tonight. And what more can you say about the pitching of Jason Marquis? 8 shutout innings. Bottom of the 8th, 4-0. The 8th inning, Jim Edmonds' his homer tonight is first up against Matt Kinney, who pitched a scoreless 7th. There's another hit for Jim Edmonds. 2 out of 4 tonight. A homer, a single, 2 strikeouts. Tonight might be the night for Jason Marquis. Cardinal fans, do you know how easy it is to dress like your favorite Cardinal player? Just go to STLCardinals.com and click on to shop for everything from player jerseys to t-shirts and caps. STLCardinals.com. Shop for all of your St. Louis Cardinals merchandise. Here's Roger Cedeno, who's been busy tonight with 2 hits and a run scored. Tony La Russa, even his detractors have to admit that he is a master at keeping players fresh on his bench.
Tony will tell you one of the first things he learned when he got to the big leagues talking to veteran managers is in late in the season. You better rest some of your players. You better have some fresh legs. Keep your regulars ready for the grind. But keep that bench active and keep those guys on your side too.
0-2 on Roger.
Was it Casey Stengel who said the key to managing is keep the 5 guys that like you, keep the 5 guys that don't like you away from the 5 guys that do.
Here's an 0-2. That's foul. Said the key to managing is to keep the guys who don't like you away from the guys who are undecided.
Undecided, that's it.
35,100 in attendance tonight. 37,104 last night. So 2,000 of you didn't show up tonight. What happened? Ball 1 down and in. Cedeno is hitting an even 300 with his 2-for-3 performance tonight.
Sometimes you watch him swing and almost as if he's falling out of the batter's box, trying to run as quick as possible, just catching the ball.
That's out of play.
Especially from the left side. And when a guy's a switch hitter, you know, his natural side is going to be the right side. And they usually have a little more pop that way, but because they got good speed, somebody at a young age tried to make him a switch hitter, and they're more of a, you know, slash and run from the left side of the plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first is Edmonds, led off with a base hit. Kinney deals. Strike 3 on the outside corner, and Cedeno knew it. First strikeout for Kinney in his 2nd inning of work, and the batter will be Mabry. Cardinal fans, we want to hear from you. Log on to STLCardinals.com. Tell us what you think of tonight's broadcast. Look for this graphic and let your thoughts be heard. Mabry is 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI. Bloop hit down the left field line his last time up. That made it 4-0. It's still 4-0.
Tavares starting to throw in the bullpen at a leisurely pace.
Mabry with a base hit to right field. He has 2 hits tonight. Edmonds will hold. And it's 2 on 1 out.
Watch him right here as Edmonds can see the ball right in front of him, so he doesn't need to pick up his third base coach until further along. He knows he can get to second, round second, and then you pick up the third base coach. It's hit too hard to really just definitively say I'm going to go to third base.
Molina's hit the ball hard once tonight, but he's 0 for 3.
I give some credit for the game that Marquis is throwing to the young catcher.
2 on 1 out. That's foul. And Molina's been much better at the plate. 258 is his average. He is 17 out of 66.
0 for 3 in this game, but he's hit safely in 8 of his last 12 games with an at-bat at a 382 clip. So that substantiates what you're saying.
Molina with no home runs yet in the big league. 4 RBI. Goes the opposite way. That's out number 2. Bad break. So he's hit it hard twice tonight. But now 0 for 4, and that's going to be it for Marquis. He'll go 8 innings tonight as Womack will pinch hit. 8 innings for Marquis. No runs on 9 hits.
He still does not have a complete game in the big leagues, but what a great performance. 8 shutout innings for Jason. He's trying to win his 10th game, and with one more shutout inning or one efficient inning from the bullpen, he'll have it.
9 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Womack now with 2 on and 2 out. Ball 1.
Tony just won for his last 20, but he's hit in 11 of his last 16 games, just under 300.
Two and 0. On deck is Marlon Anderson. In the air to left center field, should end the inning and send us to the ninth. Jenkins takes care of it. The Cardinals strand 2. Tonight they leave 8. We've played 8. The Cardinals lead it 4-0. What a great night for Jason Marquis, and you look at how he picked up the outs tonight. He goes through 8 shutout innings and a lot of ground outs because of that great sinker ball. Watch him work.
Came in second best at inducing ground balls, and he was even better in his ratio tonight. Good defense behind him makes those plays.
Call to the bullpen is brought to you by the St. Louis Renaissance Grand Hotel, and it's Julian Tavares out there to try and finish this game. The Cardinals lead 4-0 moving to the ninth.
You know, it's hard to believe. It's his last outing was Saturday at Cincinnati when he posted his 3rd straight loss. Can you think of that? 3rd straight loss?
Not with the way he's pitched.
And in that game, he hit a batter in the 8th inning that eventually scored the game-winning run off the home run surrendered by Klein to Dunn, but he's pitched very well.
Midwest Sports Report is coming up right after this game. We'll be a part of it. Tony La Russa's post-game press conference. Sure, they'll talk about the Rams as camp is set to open. So that's right after this game as Ginter goes after the first pitch, strike 1.
Where's Steven Jackson?
Mike Martz is asking the same thing. No real surprise that the first-round pick isn't in camp, but he's not.
Taguchi out in right field, take over for defense, part of the double switch.
Takes over for Cedeno. Here's an 0-1 to Ginter. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Cardinal bullpen has allowed only 9 runs, 8 earned over the last 56 2/3 innings, a 1.27 ERA over 23 games. Second best ERA in the major leagues for that Cardinal bullpen. Strike 2 on Ginter. And Tavares has been a big part of that.
And starting pitching goes deep into a ball game, so you really don't overtax that bullpen. When you're having to account for 3 outs, or in most cases 6 outs, you got 6 arms down there that can do that night after night.
A 1-2 to Ginter. Molina could not corral that foul tip. Two and 2. After Ginter, it will be Moeller, who has been on base 3 times tonight, and then Counsell, who's been on base twice. Bottom of the order. Has been tough against Marquis this evening. Here's a 2-2. In the air to right center field, should be handled by Edman. I want to hear from Rob King, and I want to hear from him right now. I want to find out what's coming up tonight on the Midwest Sports Report. Rob, hello.
All right, thank you. Here's what's coming up after the game. Complete highlights, post-game reactions from the clubhouse, Tony La Russa's live comments, and Bernie Miklasz taking your phone calls. All that and more right after the game. Now back to Joe and Al. Guys?
Rob? With one out, here is Chad Moeller, who has singled twice and walked. The Cardinals are on their way to their 61st win of the year. 27 games over the 500 mark. They will maintain their 10-game lead over the Cubs. They move back in front of Cincinnati with a win today over the Reds behind Maddox.
Well, that plays on your mind, too. When you play that day game, you said, oh, let's see if the Cardinals can respond. And then when they do, then you get frustrated.
Here's an 0-1 to Moeller. That's another hit for Moeller. Cardinals can't get him out. 3 for 3 with a walk. Craig Counsell will hit. Play of the game is brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. A big help to Marquis was this 7th inning double play turned in by Rowland. Off the bat of Kieschnick, who is pinch hitting. Cardinals will get our guest, Ray King, loose in the bullpen. Here's Counsell. 2 for 3. Ball 1.
5 hits among the 7th and 8th spots in the order. Only Counsell has been retired once tonight. Moeller has not.
There's a strike. 1-1. The Cardinals' 10-game lead is their largest at this stage of the season since the beginning of division play in 1969. And it will stay 10 games if they win tonight. 1-2 on Counsell. Good fastball from Tavares.
Tavares possesses a good sinker. He can get a ground ball and end this game.
Counsell ready for a 1-2. The crowd getting behind Tavares. 2 out.
And it's set up down there. That's sinking action. All running away almost from the left-handed swinger. Ben Grieve.
Ben Grieve will pinch hit for Ginter, who went 2 scoreless, allowing 2 hits, picked up a strikeout. This big crowd of 35,100 got through a little rain tonight, and they're at the park to see yet another Cardinal win, aren't they? Ball 1 up to Grieve. That's up to Tavares, and right now Ben Grieve.
Tavares is facing a guy who's been sitting there for 3 hours. So this youngster's ready. He also knows Ben's 0 for 17.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, the kid, he's happy.
He's ready.
He's ready to pinch hit. Maybe tomorrow.
The Giants will be here. Barry Bonds, Dustin Hermanson against Suppan tomorrow night. Should end it. Rolling. That's what the Cardinals are doing. Rolling, rolling, rolling. They win again. They sweep the series. They take 2 from the Milwaukee Brewers, and they are now 27 games over the 500 mark. A final of 4-0. A shutout victory on the air tomorrow night at 6:30 with Cardinals Tonight. Cards and Giants Midwest Sports Report right now. Here's a fly ball. Ray, are you going to catch this? Ray, catch it.
Now, the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report. Right back to Busch Stadium for player interviews. Tony La Russa live. Analysis from Joe and Al, and your phone calls with Bernie Miklasz at 1-888-RING-FOX.
I'm Ann Carroll at Busch Stadium. It's not too early to start thinking MVP. What do the voters, the writers think? We'll go inside the press box to find out.
Who will replace Grant Wisdom at right defensive end on the Rams defense? I'll talk about it later tonight.
Now, your Midwest Sports Report, presented by Busch Light.
Stover. I'm Rob King, and you are watching the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report.
Yeah, full recap of the game you just saw, and we start right back at the ballpark with the highlights of this one. The Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals, with Busch wrapping up their short two-game set. Bottom of one, Cards get on the board early. Runner on first, nobody out. Edgar Renteria doubles down the left field line. Marlon Anderson scores, and the Cards jump on top, 1-0. 2-zip in the fourth. Jimmy Edmonds, feet to right center, a solo shot. His 23rd. The Cards take a 3-0 lead, and they hold on to win with a final of 4-0. They sweep the short two-game set, and the Giants headed to town next, and we head right back to the scene. Jimmy Hayes standing by at the scene, brought to you by Ace Mortgage. Jim?
Jim Edmonds' home run number 23 on the season came in the fourth inning. A 1-1 pitch. You got a hold of it. What did you see?
Fastball. I'm just trying to make contact. I am having a tough year up and down, so I'm just going out there and just trying to put the ball in play, and I got a fastball down the middle, I think, and got lucky.
It worked. Ben Sheets has been dominant against almost everyone, but the Cardinals find a way to get to him. What's the difference? Why are you guys able to hit him?
I don't know. I mean, we have a great team. I think he still pitched a great game. 4 runs is, we scattered 4 runs. He made maybe a mistake or 2 here. A couple guys hit some good pitches, and our pitching did it again, and that's all we've been about so far this whole year. It's just somebody does it every night.
Last night, sliding into second base, looks like you banged your knee a little bit. Any lingering effect?
No, just normal day of work. Another bruise, another swelling injury, but it's just play the game every day the best I can, and keep coming out here and having fun.
Go ice it up. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. You've been very nice to me this year. Thanks.
All right, Jimmy. Thank you. Jim Edmonds is glad we're nice to him, Joe and Al. His home run in the fourth, 430 feet. That's the longest home run hit by a Cardinal at Busch Stadium this season.
Also, Jim, it's the longest home run hit by a Cardinal who doesn't know what the pitch was. So that's exciting. And the Cardinals are not only good on the field, they're also good with interviews. I mean, they have been schooled somewhere into talking about this season and downplaying the fact that they have the best record in the game and they have a 10-game lead.
Joe, it's amazing when you're winning the games at the pace they are, how everything is nice. You're even nice to Jimmy.
Who couldn't be nice to Jim Hayes? How about the sinker of Jason Marquis? He went 8th. You get the feeling if they wanted to run him out there for the 9th inning, he would have been up to the task. He was great tonight.
I think he would have loved to, but I think they made the right choice. He went out there and did his job. It wasn't as hot as last night as things cooled off, but he cooled off these bats with all these ground balls. And the more success he has, the better his confidence level, the more confidence his teammates have in him. You heard Jim Edmonds. He just talks about, hey, I've been struggling. I don't think that's quite true. But, they go out there, and every night they're getting a well-pitched game from one of the starters. They go deep into the second half of the game. The bullpen takes over. They only have to get 3 or 6 outs, something of that nature, and everything falls in place, especially with a good defense and offense.
Great formula, and that's working, and that's given the Cardinals the best record. Now they have Carpenter, they have Morris, and they have Marquis. 3 10-game winners, the only team in Major League Baseball that can boast 3 10-game winners.
It just breeds more and more success. Everybody's proud about that. The offensive players say, hey, this guy's got 9. We want him to get him to 10. And everybody just keeps on pushing for the same result, and that's a team W.
Hopefully that'll happen tomorrow night for Jeff Suppan. He takes on Dustin Hermanson, and the San Francisco Giants will be on the air. I won't. I'll be in Boston. But Dan and Al will be on the air at 6:30 with Cardinals tonight. From all of us, all of our gang, the very nice Jim Hayes, who's been so good to Jim Edmonds all year long, we say goodbye from the ballpark and send it back to the studio.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Still to come on MSR, Tony La Russa Live, Cardinal Clubhouse Reaction, and Bernie Miklasz takes your phone calls at 1-888-RING-FOX.
Standings, the Cubs in second place, 10 behind the Cardinals now. The Reds 11.5 back, the Brewers 13.5 back. The Astros and Pirates pretty much fallen out of contention. Maybe for the Astros a chance still at the wild card.
Pitching prospect Adam Wainwright will resume throwing before the end of the month, which means he won't have to have surgery as was suspected. Wainwright hasn't appeared in a game for Memphis since June the 7th because of elbow discomfort. Cubs pitchers Carlos Zambrano, well, he was the first one that was suspended. 5 games today for intentionally hitting Jimmy Edmonds with a pitch Monday night at trade week. Zambrano was ejected from the game. His teammate, LaTroy Hawkins, picked up a 3-game suspension for his actions Tuesday against the Redbirds. Hawkins was ejected for yelling at home plate umpire Tim Cheetah.
Marlins and Phillies picking up top of the fourth. Marlins down 2 with 2 on. Jeff Conine, a blast to deep left center field. A 3-run homer. Conine 7th of the year, 3-2 Florida. And in the bottom of the 7th, the Fish playing some D. Jason Michaels up. Hard liner out to center field, but Juan Pierre comes scampering in, diving grab. And the Marlins win. Final score was 10-8.
Pirates playing at the Atlanta Braves this afternoon. A pitcher's duel today in Atlanta. Russ Ortiz strikes out Craig Wilson in the 6th. Ortiz K'd 5, allowing 1 run through 8 innings. In the 7th, Kip Wells gets Adam LaRoche swinging. Wells struck out 4, allowing just 1 run through 8. They went to the 10th, tied at 1. Johnny Estrada, bases loaded, sac fly with nobody out to left. The Braves with a 2-1 win.
Expos at the Metropolitans, top of the 8th, 1 on, game tied at 1. Tony Batista, 2-run homer with 2 outs off of John Franco. Actually, yeah, 2-run shot that makes it 3-1, I beg your pardon. They add another one to make it 4-1. Chad Cordero gets Shane Spencer looking to end it. His 8th save. Expos win. Final score was 4-1.
National League East is a fun race to watch, so we show you once again tonight how it shapes up at the moment. We're efforting that. There we go. Philadelphia and Atlanta tied atop the East, both at 50 and 45. Florida 2 back, and the Mets 3 games off the pace. We invite you to log on to foxsports.com on MSN, keyword Midwest, to cast your vote on tonight's Bushlight poll question. Who will win the NL East? Braves, Marlins, Mets, or Phillies? And for more scores and great prizes, check out the Midwest Sports Zone at Busch.com.
Right back to Busch Stadium now. Tony La Russa has taken the microphone. It is brought to you by McDonald's.
Got to give them credit for that. They made a lot of good pitches. We had an excellent defensive game. You know, play that Scott Rowland made, and you know, John Mabry made a nice one. We turned a old player too. I mean, so it was a strong defensive game, but Jason set the tempo.
Ground ball out straight.
Yeah, I mean, it was. He's got terrific movement down, and it's just tough to elevate it when you got a nice infield. You pick up some extra outs. Well, I mean, if you look at it, if he wasn't so good, you know, we'd have put 3 or 4 extra runs. I mean, you punch out Albert, and you get Scott with a runner on third. I mean, he showed. I mean, this guy is upper echelon starter, and if he hadn't been as good as he is, you know, with our opportunity, we'd have gotten another 2 or 3 runs.
How about Forrest closing it out?
Well, he's not afraid of the 9th inning. That's one of the good things about. I mean, he's not afraid of anything. I mean, he's been around long enough. He's done just about everything and he really likes that end of game stuff. So, you know, it's good to get that shutout for and the win for us, because the day that Izzy wasn't going to pitch, so it was really good.
Do you think Jason had enough of that point to let him finish the game?
Well, I just think that he was going to be vulnerable at that point. He's pitching 5 days from now. I mean, we're already into the meat of the season. Been crazy to send him out there again.
Did you have any kind of decision at all? It looked like you were pondering taking him out in the 8th inning and then let him go a little bit longer and he pitched well.
Well, I mean, we had guys going. If he doesn't, you know, if a couple other things happen in that inning, he's going to be relieved. I mean, you know, you got to respect who you're playing against. And they had some weapons coming up, but he made the pitches and got out of it.
So the glasses come off, and I thought you might be heading out there one.
I just need to see what I'm doing. You know, I can't. My glasses are distance. I can't read this card and do that at the same time.
Now the only team in baseball, 3 players, 3 pitchers with 10 wins.
Well, I mean, we've been playing really good for a long time, and you're going to be able to look at stuff like that. You know, you look at some of our guys with RBIs, some of our starters with, you know, with 10 wins. And we have another one that's got 9. You know, Woody's on his way. I mean, that's how you end up playing well for a long time. You know, there's some stats that'll show it. We got a bunch of guys RBIs, and all of a sudden Izzy's got 25 saves. I mean, it's...
Tomorrow on FSN, your home of the Cardinals. Cardinals tonight at 6:30, and then Jeff Suppan against former Redbird Dustin Hermanson as the Giants come to town. After the game, we'll wrap up today in sports on the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report. Speaking of the Giants, taking on the Padres today, top of the 3rd, bases loaded, 2 outs. Rich Aurelia, the new Padre, singles to center field, brings home Mark Loretta and Ryan Klesko, 3-2 San Diego. Very next batter, Jay Payton, a 3-run homer off Jason Schmidt, whose 12-game winning streak comes to an end. San Diego wins. Final score was 9-4.
So Barry Bonds comes to town for 3 this weekend against the Redbirds. Bonds has 24 home runs. That despite getting walked 137 times this year. The Cardinals pitchers will take their crack at the most dangerous hitter in all of baseball beginning tomorrow night.
Well, Bonds, first of all, has great discipline of the strike zone. I mean, you very rarely ever see him swinging a ball that's outside the strike zone, and he's really kind of shrunk that strike zone down to a point where that he gets the ball in the area where he can hit it, and he hits it solid. And I think that's the biggest thing that sets him apart is the discipline. I'm sure that we'll try to avoid Bonds beating us, and just like everybody else does.
Scott Rowland has never finished in the top 10 in voting for the MVP, if you can believe that. Albert Pujols has finished 4th, 2nd, and 2nd in his 3 big league seasons. The winner those 3 years and a record 6 times overall, the aforementioned Barry Bonds. The top 3 NL MVP candidates for this season will all be at Busch Stadium when the Cards host the Giants, and Carroll has more.
As Barry Bonds, complete with his league-leading .362 average, rolls into town with his San Francisco Giants, it will mean 3 leading NL MVP candidates will take the very same field at Busch this weekend. Along with Bonds, Scott Rowland and his RBI numbers leads the MVP charge, and Albert Pujols is starting to make a push as well. Here in St. Louis with the fans, well, of course, it's a toss-up.
Scott Rowland can do anything. He's 6'5", he's 240 pounds. He can run the bases. He can field, he can hit.
I like Pujols, preferably. He can play any position, but he's played at first base pretty much all year. He's done a really good job.
So that's a small fan sampling, but the real experts, the voters, reside in here in the press box. 2 writers per city rank their top 10 before the postseason.
Right now, Albert actually has better percentages than Rowland, except for batting average. Rowland still has superior raw numbers. Right now, I'd probably have Rowland first.
Right now, Rowland, Bonds, Pujols in that order. But Pujols is making a heck of a charge here. You have to go with the team that wins, and the Cardinals are going to win, so I got to go with Rowland first, and Pujols is their next most valuable player, I'd say.
As for Tom Hardecourt goes, one of the 2 writers from Milwaukee, well, he says it's a no-brainer.
If I voted today, I would have to vote for Scott Rowland. I asked the Brewers manager recently what he thought of Scott Rowland. He said he thought Scott Rowland was the perfect player. I mean, it's hard to get praise much higher than that.
For the Midwest Sports Report, I'm Ann Carroll.
Time now for tonight's baseball milestone, brought to you by your independent tire dealers. With his win today over the Reds, Greg Maddux now just 2 wins away from 300 for his career. Your independent tire dealers helping your car reach milestones on the road.
Things out down there, and coming over here with Duncan in spring training, he's helped me. I mean, words can't even describe it. I'm just glad to be back up here and contributing.
How's this game rank as far as start so far this season?
It's up there. Obviously, my mechanics felt good. I was keeping the ball down, and like you said, the 18 ground ball outs shows it. But if I didn't have that defense behind me, I don't know what I'd do.
You get this really lobby to try to finish?
No, not really. I think my pitch count got up there a little bit, and obviously they've been making the right decisions all along. And anytime we hand the baseball over to the bullpen, it's a done deal.
A lot of hits came with nobody on, but you mentioned how about the play Rowland made with guys were first and second.
You can't describe what he does daily. The guy goes out there and makes plays day in and day out like you've never seen before, and it's a tribute to how hard he's working and what type of player he is.
You've now won seven decisions, 7 wins in a row. As far as decisions, it's got to be pretty gratifying.
No, it's definitely a good feeling. Going out there and giving your team a chance to win every time, and obviously that's our goal. And I think we're all doing a great job of that.
Dave Duncan said the reason why you're under a little hot streak now is you've proven to yourself that you belong here. You can excel. Do you think that there's something there?
I think so. Anytime somebody comes in with a little confidence, it always helps out. Felt like when I was in Atlanta, I was always looking over my shoulder, worrying about what was going to happen next. So I really wasn't going out there pitching my game, pitching on the offensive, and coming over here and them giving me the ball every 5 days, it's really made a difference.
How much fun are you guys having?
We're having a blast. Obviously, it's not done yet. We still got a bunch of games left, and hopefully we could just play solid baseball throughout.
Is there things from Dunk that you're getting that you weren't getting in Atlanta?
I think he just helped me realize my strength. Obviously, mechanically, he picks up on things in the bullpens and just to get me back on my game. But I think he really helped me realize what my strengths were. Sometimes a pitcher could figure that out on his own. Sometimes guys need that little extra, guidance, and that's what he did for me.
Tonight, the guy who pitched the ninth was Tavares. He spoke moments ago in the clubhouse.
Well, it was really nice, Besides, I got 4 days that I haven't pitched, but that was nice to Tony to let me go and pitch the ninth inning. I really appreciated that. I've been in that situation before. I know it's not a safe situation, but I don't look that way. I look at like the game is nothing, try to be very calm, and get one guy at a time. So it worked pretty good.
The bullpen is set up now in a certain way, but you guys are prepared to do pretty much anything you need to.
Oh, yeah. Everybody in the bullpen, they are escaped to do any job. We got a great arm in the pen, good experience. We don't have a rookie in the bullpen, but everybody is ready to do any kind of job over there. He's just the kind of guy that he can come in the 8th, pitch the 8th, and 9th, and shut the door. He's probably the best arm that we got in the bullpen. Everybody out there is ready to do anything.
Who's the best arm you got in the starting rotation now?
I would say Jason Marquis. I think he's the best arm that we got in the organization, Jason Marquis, best arm in the starting rotation. And it doesn't mean the other guy doesn't have a great arm. They do, but type of different velocity, young guy also he is. But I say he's the best arm in the starting rotation, and he's the best arm in the organization to me.
Hey, Julian, how do you feel, A, physically right now, and B, in terms of what your delivery and everything? You feel okay right now?
Oh, I feel good. I've been feeling good the whole year round. I know I've been a lot of up and down, but it's part of baseball. I've been there before. I've already been 10 years in the major league, I'm being up and down, probably my mechanic. And a lot of time, I don't look my mechanic. I just say, that was a bad day. That kind of game can go either way. Games that I've been up and down, it's been tight game. I walk away with the loss, and a lot of time I thinking in my head, well, maybe it was my mechanic, and I say, no, it's not. I talk to some of the guys that has more experience than me, so here, and I say, I think it was my mechanic. They just say, no, Julian, it's not. Tie game can go either way. It can go south and north. Just think it that way. So I just don't look at my tape. I try to relax and say, hey, tomorrow's another day. That's how it's been the whole year, I've been really happy with my job and what I feel right now, physically and mentally.
Time now for our Hyundai play of the day. Top of the 4th, 2-0 Redbirds. West Helms with a sharp grounder. Edgar Renteria, great diving stop, throw from his knees. They rule Helms safe at first, but take a look at the replay. Just a little bit of a hitch right there, and that's what cost him. Still a great play, and I don't know. I think he was out. But anyway, Renteria, a nice play. It's
a short time ago. Here are his comments from the Cardinals clubhouse.
It's nice to help out defensively, especially when Marquis has a good one going in the double play that you certainly aided his cause.
Yeah, you got to play both sides of the ball. I think that's the most important thing. And he threw the ball great, and he pitched a strong 8 innings, and we got another good win.
A lot of good defense, but with Marquis, you're going to get a lot of ground balls. Right?
Hit a lot of ground balls. Normally a little busier than I was tonight, but Edgar had a lot of balls, made some great plays, and if he throws the ball the way he wants to, that's disgusting.
Scott said Milwaukee out 2 nights in a row. That's not an easy job.
No, definitely not. The pitchers they've done well, throwing well all year, and bullpen's been great, and starting pitcher's been great. We're playing good ball right now.
Scott, at the beginning of the season, these guys came in and took 3 or 4 to open the season against you guys. You guys have come so far. Can you even remember back that far?
Well, we remember we had a tough time with them, but a little 2-game series here, so it was a quick one. But they played well both games. They played us tough both games. They had 2 good pitching performances, and we just